Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, welcome and thank you for subscribing, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and thank you for your support. I'm doing this video today because I know that there are so many people out there who are seeking admission for the fall 2022 semester, and I wanted you all to know that it is not too late to apply for the fall 2022 semester at some of these institutions, and even secure funding if possible, because some of them have like later deadlines and they also consider applicants for funding opportunities as well. So you just have to be willing to kind of like sit down, take a look at these schools and see if they meet your criteria. One thing I would say though is that at some of these institutions, they have different requirements, and although they have general deadlines that are like later on in the semester, like maybe May or June, some programs might have earlier deadlines. So it's up to you to check out their website and confirm the requirements. And before we dive right in, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. If you are watching without subscribing, click that subscribe button that is staring at you right there. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first institution on this list today is HOFSTRA University, and at HOFSTRA University, most of the graduate and undergraduate programs have rolling admissions, which means that they don't have specific deadlines, although there might be some programs that have like specific deadlines, and for undergraduate students like early decisions. However, for the most part, most of their programs have rolling admissions, which means that you can apply anytime for the fall 2022 semester. Of course, you have to apply before the start of the semester. So yeah, check it out and see if your program has rolling admissions. The second university on this list is FORDHAM University. And at FORDHAM University, generally their graduate programs admit students on a rolling basis, meaning that students may still apply after the recommended deadlines. But there are still some programs with specific deadlines, so just make sure to check it out. The third university, number 3, is Stevens Institute of Technology. Okay, so at Stevens Institute of Technology, the graduate admissions generally admit students on a rolling basis, meaning that students may still apply after the recommended deadlines, but there are still some programs with preferred deadlines of like April 15, so just make sure to check it out. Moving on, number 4 is Bridgewater State University, and most graduate programs at Bridgewater State University have rolling deadlines, but as an international student, you are expected to apply by May 1 for consideration, or your program's deadline if it is earlier. So take note of that. As an international student, you are expected to apply by May 1 at Bridgewater State University. Number 5 is Utah Valley University, and at Utah Valley University, undergraduate programs have a deadline of May 1 and graduate programs have a deadline of May 15 for the fall semester. So number 6 is the University of Georgia, and at the University of Georgia, many graduate programs have a deadline of April 1 if you are not seeking funding. Some have earlier deadlines, so it's up to you to check if your program is still accepting applications. The next school is University of the Pacific, and at University of the Pacific, for undergraduate applicants, the deadline is April 1, while for graduate applicants, many of the graduate programs either have a rolling deadline or May deadline, but there are still some, as usual, as always, just like other institutions, that have like earlier deadlines, so make sure to check it out. So number 8 on my list is Wichita State University, and at Wichita State University, April 16 is the deadline for international undergraduate applicants who use their basic service. June 1 is the deadline for those who use their standard service, and July 1 for those who use their premium service. And for graduate students at Wichita State, the priority deadline is March 31, the secondary deadline is April 30, and late submission is any date after the secondary deadline, so you'll still be considered for admission even if you apply after the secondary deadline. And as usual, see, I'm going to keep stating this, there are some programs with earlier deadlines, so make sure to check it out. Number 9 institution on my list is Fresno Pacific University, and at this institution, the deadline for undergraduate applicants is May 1, and the deadline for graduate applicants is mid-July, which I think is actually quite late, like it's later, mid-July. Moving on, the 10th institution on this list is New York Institute of Technology, and at New York Institute of Technology, the deadline for undergraduate applicants is July 1, and for graduate applicants, most of the graduate programs have rolling admissions, but there are still some with specific deadlines as usual, so make sure to check it out. Number 11 on this list is Rochester Institute of Technology. And at Rochester Institute of Technology, almost all the graduate programs have rolling admissions. Almost all their programs have rolling admissions, so make sure to check it out. So moving on, number 12 on this list is DIXIE State University, and the deadline for international applicants at DIXIE State University is July 1, and it's right there on the screen. So moving on, number 13 is Marquette University. And for graduate applicants at this institution, many of the graduate programs have rolling admissions, and you just need to apply by June 1 to be considered for admission. Moving on, the 14th university on this list is DEPAUL University. And at DEPAUL University, many of their graduate programs actually have a June deadline, so make sure to check them out. Up next is Tennessee Tech University, and at Tennessee Tech University, the deadline to apply is May 1 for the fall 2022 semester as an international applicant, so make sure to check them out. And last but not the least, institution on our list today is Shawnee State University, and at Shawnee State University, the deadline to apply is July 1 for the fall 2022 semester. So yes people, that is it from me today. Do note that this list is not in any way exhaustive. There are still many institutions out there that are still accepting applications for the fall 2022 semester, so definitely make sure to do your research, especially if you are looking for an institution that fits your criteria and meets your needs, because maybe not all the schools I'm providing today might fit in the criteria or your needs. Like if you have specific needs or want, like, oh, you don't want to write GRE or TOEFL and things like that. And with that, we've come to the end of my video for today. I hope you found this list helpful, and make sure to give my video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.